Live on your health this morning, keeping a close eye on your child's vision.
Very important. Here with advice is Dr. Melanie Kaslas, a pediatric ophthalmologist at Mass General for Children. Good morning, doctor. Thank you for joining us. Let's start with the calendar here. How often do your children need an eye exam?
That's a great question. Certainly, we need to determine if there's any problem with vision very early in life because of this concept called the critical period of visual development. So even from infancy, the pediatrician is checking at well baby and well child checkups the eyes. And if there's any concern on the pediatrician's aspect, or if a parent has a concern about something wrong with the eyes, it's never too early to refer even a baby to see us for an exam. But in general, we want to make sure that the children are getting screened at the pediatrician's office, at the school, and then they will come to see us if they don't meet certain guidelines, and then we do a comprehensive eye exam.
Remember having that at school. Are you just checking the vision or looking for other issues too?
No, we definitely look for other issues, such as droopy eyelid, any problem with what we call the red reflex, which could indicate a serious problem such as cataract or even a tumor in the eye. So we do a comprehensive eye exam, including dilating the pupil to get a full assessment of what the child is seeing and whether there's any eye condition that could be really serious or even life-threatening.
As you know, myopia or nearsightedness affects about 42% of school-age children. What's usually the first sign that there's a problem?
Yes, with myopia or nearsightedness, one of the first things that a child may do is squint. So they may be seeing something that they're not being able to see, so they'll squint their eyes to help see and clear up the image. Often children may not want to admit that they can't see well, far away, so parents have to be on guard to look for such signs as squinting when they're trying to see something far away.
One last question. At what age would you say it's okay for a child to choose to wear contact lenses instead of glasses?
Yeah, I definitely do. I don't want to get into hot water with parents. So I always make sure and speak with the parents that it really is a decision that they need to make about whether they feel the child can responsibly put the contact lens in and take it out and have good hand hygiene, because we don't want them to develop an infection of the cornea, which is serious. Typically, middle school to early high school is when most children, if they're going to consider contact lenses, will start to do that. But if there is a need for having earlier contact lenses, such as for playing sport, it can even go in earlier as long as the parent feels the child is responsible and able to handle the contact lenses.
Okay, Dr. Melanie Kaslas, Mass General Hospital, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you.